afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Weekday Wagers. Listen, my name is Mark Wallace, and I am flying completely solo today. We've had some things happen in the Weekday Wager world where Robbie, his real life job, is taking precedence. So, absolutely understand that. And DG is getting his car fixed. So he is stuck at the dealership right now, has no way to get online. So you are stuck with me today. So we're gonna have a little fun. It's my show. We can do whatever the hell we want to do with it. So before we get into today, let's take a look and see what happened yesterday. And oh, hell yes. Nothing like two green check marks to get the day going. And yes, Joe says his apologies for missing yesterday. In light of the absences that we have today, Joe, I think we can overlook yesterday. And it's as Kim says, you were missed, though. The chat was looking for you. And yes, solo Mark could be a little dangerous. Two green check marks. I do, that's great. I do have two plays. One for me. Robbie was kind enough to get his play sent in, so we do have that. Can't wait to go over that. Want to talk a little bit about what happened last night, and all of a sudden I am sitting here at the desk just kind of getting some work done, last minute stuff done, and my phone starts blowing up, and it's DG and Robbie who are just sending me text after text saying that there's a brawl in the Atlanta Braves LA Angels game. And I don't have access. I wasn't watching TBS or anything like that. I wasn't close to anything. So I was like waiting for SportsCenter to come on so I could watch it. And then I got caught up watching the hockey game last night. That was a great game between the Mammoth and the Oilers. What a crazy game that was. But my question for you guys, if a pitcher is going to throw in and up, right? Going to give him a little chin music. And we're talking about Jorge Soler and Ronaldo Lopez, who was pitching for the Braves, threw against Soler, gave him a little chin music. If you're going to do that and then participate in a stare down that lasted for an awkward 30 plus seconds, 40, 45 seconds, are you throwing punches still holding the baseball in your hand? That's my question for you. Because I see something like that, and that is the most ridiculous thing in the world. I'm like, what are you doing? You're taking the time to really all the machismo, all the bravado, don't F with me or you're gonna get the horns type thing. And you're throwing punches holding a baseball in your hand? At first, I thought he was going to throw the baseball. And I agree with Joe just put it in the comments here. It's amazing that they're still throwing at players. They could kill someone. It is. And my God, the names just escaped me. Help me out. It was the day before where the brother was the catcher. His brother was batting, and a pitcher threw at him and hit him in his hand. And it's hit him like tons of times, right? This guy gets thrown at Woodward from the Brewers, I think is the pitcher. And yes, I agree. It was more like a slapping match, but all you see all over social media, Kim, is the brawl, right? The brawl between the Braves and the Angels, the brawl between the Angels and the Halos and the Braves. It wasn't a brawl. And I love that the third base coach is the one who came over and tackled the pitcher, who, by the way, third base coach, black belt in jiu-jitsu. So there is that. It's kind of ironic to me that the guy who is most disciplined to not be violent is the one that's doing the tackling head on. Some hockey last night that had some implications. And yes, as Nate puts it, the Kraken play, I had the Kraken minus or under 2.5 goals. That was a bit of a sweat. They scored 2, and it was kind of close. But the Wild ends up winning on the puck line, which was the other play I had on that game as well. And you know what, Kim? 100%. Robin Ventura went after Nolan Ryan harder than that. And I'll tell you what, Nolan Ryan was the type of guy that you just didn't play around with. If he was throwing at you, he was going to throw at you, and he could kill you with that pitch. And at the same time, if you're going to challenge him, he's going to knock you on your ass for doing that. Not with the baseball, with his fists. Dude was not afraid to mix it up and get after it. He was just intimidating. I mean, the guy could throw 100 miles an hour and then throw punches to back it up. It was absolutely insane. The good old days. The good old days when there was an art around throwing at players, where baseball had a code of conduct, if you will, and players sort of regulated the players. There's something to be said for that nowadays. Speaking of baseball, we do have some day baseball going on right now. The Brewers in Boston are all tied up, top of the third, 0-0 going into that. In fact, the only game that has runs in it is the Royals and Guardians. Guardians have done all the scoring so far for the day baseball. That game is Guardians 4, Royals 0. Padres and Pirates are locked up at 0-0 going into the bottom of the sixth, which means, if you follow me on social media, on X, you know that I already have the first two legs of my three-team NRFI. We're in the same spot that we were in yesterday, and yesterday's did not cash. The only saving grace for me is that the only person who retweeted and liked that comment and that post was Robbie. So I didn't have to. I can't buy Robbie a subscription to justicestatsports.com. So I will figure out how to make amends for that losing one. But we've cashed the first two legs for today. Padres and the Royals were the first two legs. Last leg is the Twins. I do think, and we do have a live betting opportunity here in the next 3 minutes, because this thing starts, it starts in 2 minutes right now, according to DraftKings. Why don't we do a little NRFI action live right here on the show? I mean, it's just me. What else we got to do? I've got Baltimore and the Chicago White Sox. Kyle Bradish on the mound for the Orioles, and I forget who is pitching for the White Sox. The NRFI right here is at minus 140 over at BetMGM. I say, let's do it. I'm in. You can also get that if you don't have BetMGM or DraftKings. You can go over to Kalshi or Poly Markets. I actually played it at Kalshi and at DraftKings. But I got it at, not DraftKings, BetMGM, where it was minus 140. Over on Kalshi, you got it for 68 cents on a contract. So if you're used to the predictive markets, that makes a lot of sense to you. If not, I would encourage you to try it out. A lot of fun. And you can kind of find better lines over at these predictive markets than you can. I know that they're not sports books and they're not really sports betting. They're outcomes. They're predicting outcomes. I don't know. Oh, Joe just said Baltimore game, the no-run first inning is at minus 130. Where are you finding that, Joe? Is that at BetMGM? Because I think that's where I got it. It was like minus 130 or minus 135 earlier. So, and I will read. Oh, Circa. Joe says you can find that at Circa. Okay. Robbie says he's really sorry. We are a family, so full disclosure. Things are cracking down at his real job, and he's having to weather the storm and figure out what he's going to do as we go forward. And I'm killing it. I hope in a good way, Rob. Trying to do you and DG proud. That's all, my friend. So we've got that Orioles. Is it in a delay? You got to be kidding me. Why is that thing not coming up? Sean Burke is pitching for the White Sox. That's right. That's right. I'll tell you what. Well, we're waiting for that because I don't know if it's in a delay or not. Let's get our plays out of the way and get those in. Here's what I'm on today. We've got the New York Yankees who are taking on the homeless Athletics. I'm taking the Yankees minus 1.5 at even money. And This is just one of those situations where you look at what the Yankees did yesterday against this Athletic team, and they're going against Luis Servino, who was absolutely horrendous against them last season. I think it's the middle of the Yankees batting order right now that is hurting them. And I was watching that game yesterday, and Chaz Chisholm, I'm already sick of you. I'm already sick of him. Guy is batting less than 200, and he's up there acting like it's just his ego has gotten ahead of him, and he's not producing to the point where he can be a little showboaty, if you will. He challenged a call. This ball was literally painting the plate. I mean, it was all over it. When he challenged it and it came up on the tracker, the entire ball was inside the strike zone, but he thought it was well enough to do a challenge, and that was in the second inning. And then this idiot dribbles a little grounder out to second base. I'm not a big Chaz Chisholm fan. I think he's overrated, but I do think the rest of the Yankees lineup get back on track, and they don't have to rely on the top and bottom of the order. Guys like Grisham, Chisholm, come on, do something. Caballero, those guys will get going, and once they start firing, this Yankees offense will be potent, and I think they can get it done against a pitcher that they've already had some really, really good success against historically. So I like the Yankees here. This one, Rob sent in. Rob sent in one Isla Protas to get at least 1 point, and that's at plus 160. I believe he said he got that at Bet365. Protas plays for the Capitals, and I am going to go over here and pull up what Rob said because this is huge. He is the younger brother of Alexei Protas. He's younger in age, but at 19, he is 6'6", 225, and he's, as Jim Ross would say, an Army tank with a Ferrari engine. He's also going to be on the same line with his brother and Tom Wilson. And for those of you who don't know, Tom Wilson is an absolute enforcer. His brother is also 6'6", 250. So you're talking about just an absolute brick wall when that line is on the ice together. Washington should have brought him up sooner. And, they've been messing around with Pierre-Luc Dubois, who he's been injured actually most of the season. Isla put up 62 points, 28 goals, 34 assists in just 66 games with the Hershey Bears in the AHL this season. He put up 124 points in 61 games for the Windsor Spitfires in the OHL the season before that. Here's what's key, though. Here's why I like this play, and you're going to see it because we do have a light the lamp list as well. But Washington is just 5 points behind Ottawa for the second wildcard spot. This is a must-win for Washington. All of these games are a must-win for Washington. Why? Because there's 3 teams in between Washington and that final spot. Excuse me. So I love this. A great example of how these new guys can actually add fire to a team. Look at what Philly did. They added Porter Martone last week, and they've won 3 straight. And Porter Martone has been an absolute beast, just going off with shots on goal, points, the whole thing. He's really sparked the Flyers in at the right time to make a playoff run. So yes, Rob says he is making his NHL debut tonight, and those tend to go very well. The narratives. Speaking of narratives, there's only one narrative. And when it comes to seasoning on this show, I'll give you a chance to guess who it is.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors, original, hot, and no salt, that's going to turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't-miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
That's perfect. Go get yourself some Bassett Blends. Listen, we do have an update. Looks like the Royals did score, so that game is 4-1 right now in the top of the fourth. Bottom of the third, Brewers, Red Sox still scoreless. Padres, Pirates still scoreless. Top of the first in Baltimore, White Sox, and it looks like we've got a runner on first base. Is that Henderson? And Andy Rauschman is up to bat with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. There's one out. So we've got a runner on first, one out in the top of the first there. Excuse me. Wyatt Johnson, as Nate puts out, is also 124 points. Yeah, these guys, look, when they play at that lower divisions, right, the OHL is just a step down from the AHL, which is the National Hockey League's minor league teams. These guys are absolute beasts. I mean, there's a reason that they're playing at the age of 19. Connor Bedard is another one. I don't think Connor Bedard played for the AHL, or I know he didn't play for the OHL. But these guys are just men amongst boys at the age of 19, and they just have their way. They deserve to be playing at the NHL at the highest level of competition. So kudos to them. That should be a hell of a game tonight, especially with all of the implications for Washington. Washington usually comes out and plays very slow and deliberately. I expect them to come out just firing on all cylinders from get-go. It does look like Boston is trying to make a little bit of a run here in the bottom of the third. They've got runners on first and second with no outs. We'll keep an eye on that one for you. I need some water. And look at that. My Padres scored in the top of the seventh. It's now 2-0. I don't know what happened there, but I like it. I like it anytime the Padres win. As Scotty says, please hit that like button. It's just me. Now you can just hit the like button for me. How's that? We don't have to share it. Kim says, how about those Reds? 8-3 on the season, 5-0 on the road for the first time. You know, the first time since the wire-to-wire season. I'd be interested to see how well they can sustain that, because I do think that we live in a different era now. And even the really bad teams, they can still get you. I mean, take a look at what Colorado has done. Surprised everybody with their start to the season this year. You look at what the Dodgers are doing, what the Dodgers do, right? I've been playing them on the run line every single game. But when you look at these teams that you wouldn't expect it, and Cincinnati has a lineup that they should actually, they should be winning games, the majority of their games, and it should be such a disappointment at the end of the season, like it was last year. And that's not taking a shot at Cincinnati. I'm just saying that their season was very, very disappointing for them last season, because they do have a better lineup than the way that they played. So, yeah, great point, Kim, considering they're down two of their pitchers, and everybody else seems to step up. And I think what's probably the best thing to happen to Cincinnati is that these injuries happened at the start of the season and not in the middle, where the rest of the rotation is already gassed. They're feeling it. The arms start to go out a little bit. They lose a little bit on the velocity, the movement of the ball. So I think that from a timing standpoint, yeah, it worked out well. And speaking of timing, there is no time like the present for a little light the lamp. We have Connor McDavid at +110, Macklin Celebrini at +125, Tage Thompson of the Buffalo Sabres for +150, Alex Ovechkin at +160, and Tom Wilson at +215. Woo! All right. So I do know who I like in this. And I can share with you that it wasn't until Robbie pointed something out. Actually, I love everybody on this list. And this may be one, in full disclosure, if I can say that, this may be one where I look to parlay and maybe round robin these, because you got Connor McDavid and Macklin Celebrini who are facing off against each other. There's going to be goals in this one. There just is. Last night, So the Oilers are on the second night of a back-to-back. Macklin Celebrini, I am telling you, they will be scoring goals in that game. Both these offenses, the Oilers are still trying to get right. The Sharks are just, they're in who cares mode, and they are firing away. They play fast, and I love this spot for both of them. Tage Thompson, the Buffalo Sabres, he's quietly having a hell of a year, an all-star type of year. So I love his situation tonight. Alex Ovechkin, they're already talking about his retirement at the end of the season. And why is that important? Well, not only is he already the goal record holder, goals scored record holder, I should say. That makes more sense. Not only does he have the most goals scored, it's down to his last 4 games. This is all about legacy now for him. And you see a little more urgency, especially in the last 3-4 games that he's played, looking at the next 4 potentially being his last. And at his age, I mean, listen, I'm surprised he came back to play this year. Hats off to him. Guy just finds it. I don't know how he does it. He's got that dragon blood when it comes to, especially this guy missed 8 weeks last year and with a broken leg came back out onto the ice, finished off the season, and then got the goals scored record. So, yes, give me Alex Ovechkin. Now, Tom Wilson, why is he on the list? Robbie told me. He has 29 goals. He's looking to crack that 30. Why? Because of financial incentives attached to it. There is a narrative there between Ovechkin and Wilson, and we just went over why he likes Isla Protas to get a point tonight. If that comes off an assist to Wilson or Ovechkin, I see that one going right hand in hand with what Robbie is playing on Isla Protas tonight. Let's see here. And that, my friends, is going to, as Rob says, Ovechkin's got vodka and Subway sandwiches in his veins. Yes, he does. Taj says Macklin Celebrini. Yeah, I agree with you, Taj. I think that we're going to see a ton of goals, especially because, as Rob points out, you got the Sabres, Lightning, and Canadians all tied for first place at 102 points. They want to win and come in first because of not just because of seeding, but because of the time off and that bye going into the second round of the playoffs. At this stage of a very, very long hockey season, that is so, so important. And DG talking about Tom Wilson being the Canadian spy. Listen, watch him. And go over, if you haven't, I'm telling you right now, if you have not gone and checked out the Mr. Predicto Daily Dinger video, that is pure gold. Mr. Predicto is hands down. Guy is sharp. He knows his stuff. Is he 100%? No, damn near 100%. But it's amazing to me. He did miss Albies yesterday, who went yard. I don't know. Maybe we can let the chat decide. I had an idea. We started out with Magic 8 Ball. And Magic 8 Ball was, maybe he was more in tune with reality TV than he was the sports world. But wouldn't you like to see a showdown between Magic 8 Ball and Mr. Predicto? I think there's something to that. I just don't know how to work that out. But I'd be interested to see what you guys said, if you thought that would be kind of fun to do. That's something stupid. You know what I mean? And yes, Mr. Predicto is killing all three of us. That video already has so many views. It's hilarious. So he's doing his thing. Look, tomorrow, I know we should be back here Tomorrow is what? Thursday. So DG will be back here. I think Rob is going to need to. There's some work stuff. There's some challenges there where he usually does it. So he usually does the show from his office at work. I know that there's some challenges with that until those things get ironed out. I'm not sure how that's going to progress. But if Rob can't be here, I will be here with DG because, yes, we do have Survivor. And listen, you don't ever have to worry about me and a Ouija board, ever. There are some things that I just don't play around with, and that's one of them. And it always scares me. Every time I've gone to New Orleans, that voodoo down there is real, and I don't play around with that stuff either. So it is what it is. Nate says, the casinos are probably going to find some way to shut Mr. Predicto down because he has been absolutely ripping them apart. We'll see. We'll protect him. I know a couple of attorneys that are really, really good. So we got his defense fund already taken care of. But with that, listen, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. And before I leave, I do want to say a very, very heartfelt thank you because I know so many of you who watch this show, who participate in the chat and follow us on social media. It has not even been a full month since Seeing the Board went live and dropped on Amazon. And not only was it a #1 new release, and I think it's #2 or #3 as a bestseller in mathematical analysis. But in literally 3 weeks, there has been so much support generated around this cause because, like I said, all but 1 nickel of the proceeds goes to a veterans organization. As of today, we have cleared the $1,000 mark that will be going to veterans. And so this is, yes, I know I wrote the book. It's never been about just the book. It's about me being able to help other people who want to get into starting or building their own models and finding those edges, as well as helping other people and pay it forward. And I can't thank you all, this community, this space. I can't thank you enough for that incredible, incredible gift. And by the way, I'm not done yet. I'm not done. We still got so much more to do. If you bought the book, thank you so much. If you would be so kind, leave a review. I can't tell you how much it really does help, and it pushes me into that algorithm. The other piece is if you know anybody who might be interested in modeling, especially with all these predictive markets that are now legal in every single state, it's amazing how many more people could benefit from something like this. Pass it on to your friends. Be a friend. Buy one for your friend. That's all I'm saying. Help the cause. Let's continue to make this thing grow. And with that, again, I am Mark Wallace. I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It has been a joy. I will see you here tomorrow at 2:00. I don't know if Rob will be here, but DG will. And if Rob's not, I will. Until then, be kind to one another. Let's cash these tickets. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.